Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to online English class. I am the Masud Haider Khan, an assistant teacher of Sharaj Haudia High School, Ishordi, Pabna. Today, I am going to discuss about question tag again for class 9 and 10. Dear friends, we are going to discuss very important subject today, and this is question tag of imperative sentence. We know that a sentence which indicates order, advice, request, etc. is regarded as an imperative sentence. When a sentence is observed as an imperative sentence, we must follow the rules of structure for the purpose of question making. Number 1. Help the poor. Please look at the board and try to understand. We know that there are four kinds of structures for imperative sentence. One is verb plus object. Here, verb plus object. If you see the sentence of this structure, you must use will plus you. You can write won't you, but I think that the most formal use or method to use will you here. That means when we follow the structure verb plus object, we must use will you in the part of tag portion. Another example, do the work. Here, same structure, that means verb plus object. So, we must use will you. I think that it's very simple for everybody, every student. If you want to solve the problem of this subject, that means making question, tagging question, you have to use will you only. That means for the purpose of question tag, we have to use will you if the sentence is verb plus object. Another example, come here. Please try to understand clearly. Come here. No problem. We can see at the board that verb plus extension with you. So we can say in a word that if a sentence starts with the structure of verb plus object, we must have to use will you for making question, that means for the purpose of question tag. Dear student, I hope that you have been able to understand the lesson. Thank you. Now we are going to discuss about the structure of negative. Don't plus verb plus object. That means negative structure of imperative sentence. Generally, if you follow such kind of structure, you must have to write down will you, don't make a noise, will you. What can we say here? Same case. That means for affirmative sentence or negative sentence of imperative mode, we must use only will you for successful correction or solution of the problem of imperative sentence. Number 2 example. Do not go there. Will you? Okay? Same, there's no problem. Only difference between two sentences, number 1 and 2, don't contract form, and elaborating do not. But question tag must be same, no problem. Dear students, I hope that you are able to understand. Take your khata, pen and etc. and write down all kinds of sentences to understand the question tag. Okay, no problem. Now, I am going to discuss other kinds of sentences with let. Follow the board and try to understand, please. Dear students, if the sentence of imperative mood starts with let, either negative or affirmative, no problem. For both of cases, we must use will you. For example, we can say that, please follow the board and try to understand. Let him, please write, let him open the box. Let him, that means you must remember it that after let, objective form must be taken by you. If you want to write down any kind of sentence correctly in this regard, that means sentence of imperative mode. Let him open the box, will you? I want to again remind you that you can use another word that means won't, but I think that not necessary here. Will you is the most formal method or way. Okay? Let him not go. Same. There's no difference between affirmative and negative sentence with you. Dear student, I think that you are able to understand the lesson. No problem. Again, I want to say that if the sentence starts with late, then we must use will you. It may be affirmative or negative. Dear students, I think that is okay to you. We know that this discussion is number 2. That means before it, one day I discussed question tag. I think that there are some rules and methods of learning correct English grammar. Most important point is question tag. But you should remember here what happened. Try to think well. Dear students, we have learned that if late at the first place of a sentence, we must have to use will you. But follow the example and structure of the sentence. If imperative mood begins with late, but after late there is as only. And for this we must have to use shall we. That means let us, shall we, let's or let us. Okay? Example number 1. Let us play cricket. Let us play cricket. Shall we? Dear students, follow the sentence. Shall we? For what? For let us or let's. Okay. I again say that if you follow an example with let and after let there is us, then we must have to use shall we for the purpose of making a question in the end part of a sentence. Okay, another example. Let's finish the work in time. Then we have understood the method of question tag with let. Only 2 rules here. Let will you. Let any kind of subject with you. Will you. But when after let us, that means let's, we must have to use shall we. Okay, dear student. Now we are going to discuss another subject. Structure. Subject plus verb. That means V1. What? Don't plus subject. Okay. Example, we play football. Don't we? We subject here. Don't V1 V1. For short form of structure, we can use V1, V2, V3, V4. That means present form, V2 past form, V3 past participle form, V4 present participle form. Okay. In maximum books in our country, 3 forms of verbs have been discussed. But I think that there are 4 kinds of forms of verbs. Present V1 in short term, past form V2, past participle form V3, V4 present participle form. Here a question we can follow. Dear students, here we can follow a question. V4 present participle V plus ing. Example, eat job plus ing equal to eating. In the same way, we can form this formation when we add ing with a verb, that means the fundamental form or basic form of a verb. It must be regarded as present participle here. Okay. Then we can say in a word that present participle is very simple matter. So, if subject plus V1, don't plus subject. If subject plus V1 with is or is, then doesn't plus subject. Subject plus V2, did it plus subject. Okay, I think that it's clear. Though has been discussed again because I think that for all the sentences there are operator, and if there is an operator such as am, is, are, was, were, can, could, may, might, have, has, etc., we have to use this operator in the part of question. But only three structure: subject and V1, subject and V1 is or is, subject plus V2. Here don't plus subject, here doesn't plus subject, here didn't plus subject. To example, he goes to school. Doesn't he? Okay. My dear students, it is clear. If you follow the verb with s or es, you must have to use doesn't plus subject. If V2 if V2, that means after subject there is V2, first form of verb, you have to use DD plus subject. Okay, my dear students, I think that you are able to understand clearly. If you follow the rules, you must be able to gain success in the department of making question, that means question tag, no problem. Here we are going to correct some question. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go there. We say our prayers. We say our prayers. He went there. Salam recited a poem. Let's make a garden. Dear students, sit to study with khata and pen and try to write down and follow the correction. Go there, verb plus extension or object, will, you. But why? It is an imperative sentence. We say our prayers, say V1, don't we? He went, V2, didn't he? Salam recited, V2, didn't he? Let's, shall We hope you all are able to solve the problem. Please try to understand again imperative will you. After verb V1, don't we? After subject V1, don't we? After subject V2, didn't he? After subject V2, didn't he? Let's shall we. We know that if there is a noun at the first place as the subject of any kind of sentence, we must have to use the pronoun of the noun. Hope you all are okay in this regard. Now we are going to another structure. Please try to understand clearly. There. It is called introductory there. If there is this there as the first place, at the first place of a sentence, we must have to use there at the place of subject for making question. That means question tag. Example, there is a cow in the field. Okay. Introductory there is. Here an operator must be set according to operator. You are to use isn't there. Understood? I hope that you should better understand, because here we can't use subject as he, she, etc. If there, that means introductory there. In the tag part, we must have to use there, isn't there. For negative term, there is no money in my pocket. There is no negative impression, must be affirmative in the question part. Is there. Hope all of you are able to understand the lesson. Tense doesn't matter here. It will be present form, past form, no problem, any kind of form of tense. But you should remember here the operator which has been used in the sentence, you must use that or this operator, such as there was a pen on the table, wasn't there. Okay, my dear students, I think that all are able to understand the lesson. If you want to know the lesson, if you want to take the lesson by MD Masud Haider Khan, an assistant teacher of Sharajhaudia High School, Ishwardip Pavna, you may sit to study with your apparatus, that means khata, pen, pencil, etc. and even you must appear at the correction, no problem. I think that this class must be very beneficial to you. Dear students, we know that we are very afraid of dangerous virus COVID-19, for which all the whole world is trembling with fear, because we fear death very severely. So I think that the government of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, and administration has taken the decision of online class. I congratulate heartily for taking this noble deeds and actions and idea and work or deeds. Everybody, thank you. You can see another class the next day. I think that you all are okay. I hope that you must be well by the grace of kind-hearted Almighty Allah. If you grant this lesson or class, you must be benefited.